Have you ever wondered why certain habits or mindsets are holding you back from the wealth and success you deserve? In this video, we will reveal the powerful Buddhist wisdom that can help you clear the obstacles standing in your way. Watch until the end to discover the simple yet transformative steps that could unlock a life of abundance and prosperity. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Rediscovering yourself. Living alone, especially after years of dedicating your life to others, can be an incredibly transformative experience. It's not just about the silence that fills your home or the absence of familiar routines. It's a profound opportunity to peel back the layers of identity that have defined you for so long. For decades, many of us have worn the titles of spouse, parent, caregiver, or even provider. And while these roles can be fulfilling, they often come at the cost of losing touch with our desires and aspirations. Now, in the quiet of living alone, you finally have the chance to rediscover who you are beyond the expectations, beyond the responsibilities, and beyond the roles you've played for so long. It can be a daunting, even intimidating shift at first. For so many years, your identity may have been shaped by the needs and wants of others, whether it was your children, your partner, or even your career. You might find yourself asking, who am I now? What do I truly want out of life? These questions, though difficult, are the gateway to a richer, more fulfilling life. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, you have the freedom to explore what makes you truly happy, what lights a fire within you, and what brings you peace. You're no longer beholden to the demands of others, and there's something profoundly empowering in that. Consider Sarah's story, which illustrates this journey of self-discovery so beautifully. At 67, after her children had all moved out and her beloved husband had passed away, Sarah was faced with a house that once buzzed with life but now stood still and quiet. The silence was overwhelming at first, a stark reminder of the significant changes she had endured. She felt adrift in a sea of uncertainty, unsure of her purpose without the constant activity that had once filled her days. In those early moments, living alone felt more like a burden than a blessing. But slowly, Sarah began to see that this silence wasn't something to fear, it was an invitation. A wide open space for her to explore who she was outside of the role she had spent her life fulfilling. Sarah had always harbored a passion for painting, a love that had sparked in her youth, but was put aside as life's responsibilities took precedence. She hadn't touched a paintbrush in over 4 decades, as the needs of her children, her husband, and her household consumed every ounce of her energy. But now, with her newfound solitude, Sarah realized she had the time, the space, and the freedom to rediscover that passion. Slowly but surely, she transformed a spare room in her house into her very own art studio, a space just for her, where she could immerse herself in creativity. Every morning, she found herself waking up with a sense of purpose, knowing she would spend the day doing something purely for herself. She began painting daily, each stroke on the canvas a step toward reconnecting with a part of herself she had long forgotten. It felt like I was meeting a version of myself I hadn't seen in decades, Sarah shared, her voice full of emotion. I had been so wrapped up in taking care of everyone else that I forgot about the things that made me happy. Now, every day feels like a gift, like I'm getting reacquainted with the person I used to be before life got in the way. Her words carry such weight, speaking to the deep emotional journey that often accompanies this period of rediscovery. It's not just about rekindling an old hobby, it's about reclaiming a part of yourself that was once lost, and in doing so, finding a sense of purpose and joy that you may not have realized was missing. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. What's remarkable about Sarah's experience is that it goes beyond simply filling her time. It's about reconnecting with herself in a way that feels deeply meaningful and personal. Living alone gave her the space to reflect on her life, explore her interests without the pressure to please anyone else, and find joy in something that was purely for her. The beauty of this is that Sarah's story is not an exception. It's a powerful reminder that this kind of personal awakening is possible for anyone who finds themselves in a similar situation. For many, this period of rediscovery isn't limited to hobbies or past passions. It's also a time to reflect on life choices, consider paths not taken, and embrace the possibility of new beginnings, even in later years. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to a place you've always dreamed of visiting, or simply allowing yourself the freedom to rest without guilt, living alone opens the door to endless possibilities. It's about permitting yourself to focus on your needs, your desires, and your well-being, something that many of us have been conditioned to neglect in favor of others. And while this journey can be emotional, it's also deeply fulfilling. There may be moments of sadness as you reflect on the passage of time and the roles you once held, but there's also immense joy in the process of self-discovery. The realization that your life is still rich with potential, that you are still capable of growth, passion, and joy is profoundly empowering. It's about embracing this new chapter with open arms, knowing that it's never too late to rediscover who you are and what you love. Living alone doesn't have to be a period of isolation or loneliness. Instead, it can be a time of profound personal growth, an opportunity to reconnect with yourself in a way that feels deeply satisfying. It's a chance to rediscover your passions, explore new interests, and truly live on your terms. Whether, like Sarah, you find joy in rekindling an old hobby, or whether you discover something entirely new, the freedom to focus on yourself is a gift, one that can bring immeasurable happiness and fulfillment. 2. Freedom and independence. One of the most cherished and liberating aspects of living alone is the deep sense of independence it offers. It's a freedom that many may have never fully experienced before, a chance to make decisions without needing to consider anyone else's opinions or preferences. When you live alone, you become the sole architect of your life. You get to decide exactly how each day will unfold, from the meals you cook or don't cook to how you want to spend every precious moment of your time. It may seem like a small thing to some, but there is an indescribable joy in the simplicity of these choices. It's a quiet, personal joy that comes from shaping your environment, your schedule, and your life precisely the way you want it to be. Take John's story as a perfect example. At 73, after losing his beloved wife, John made a decision that would redefine his life. He chose to downsize and move into a smaller, more manageable home, a place that suited the person he had become in this new chapter of his life. What made this decision so significant was the fact that it was entirely his. After decades of partnership, compromise, of thinking about what was best for his family, John relished the newfound freedom to make a choice that was purely about him. "I didn't have to consider anyone else's preferences, just what I wanted," he shared, his voice tinged with a sense of quiet pride. It was liberating. And that's the essence of living alone, the ability to live life on your terms. For John, that freedom meant immersing himself in a passion he had long neglected. His wife had never shared his love for gardening, but now, with the entire space and time to himself, John spends hours outdoors, cultivating the earth, nurturing the plants, and finding a sense of peace in the simplicity of nature. There's no guilt, no sense of neglecting anyone's needs, no interruptions. "It's my time, my space, and my choice," he says with a smile that reflects the deep satisfaction this autonomy brings him. This independence goes far beyond just the physical space of living alone. It extends to emotional and mental freedom as well. You no longer have to adjust your routine to fit the needs of others. You can create a daily rhythm that works entirely for you, free from compromise. If you want to stay up late reading, indulge in a favorite meal, or spend hours working on a hobby, there's no one to answer to but yourself. The freedom to make these choices, even the smallest of them, is empowering in a way that many might not fully appreciate until they've experienced it. Imagine the joy of waking up each day and knowing that every decision is yours. The power to control your environment, to decorate your space exactly as you like it, to make changes on a whim without consulting anyone, can feel both exhilarating and deeply fulfilling. There's a unique pleasure in transforming a home into a reflection of your truest self, whether that means filling it with your favorite colors, creating a quiet sanctuary of solitude, or leaving it open and airy to allow in as much natural light as possible. It's a space that is completely yours, designed to bring you peace, comfort, and joy. And that's not all. The mental and emotional freedom that comes with living alone is perhaps the most profound. You're no longer bound by the expectations of others, whether it's family, friends, or society at large. You can pursue your passions without judgment, spend your time as you see fit, and fully embrace the person you've become. There's a deep sense of relief in letting go of the pressures to meet someone else's standards. Living alone gives you the rare opportunity to reconnect with your innermost desires and preferences. It's a chance to discover what truly makes you happy and to create a life that reflects those choices. For some, this newfound independence may lead to the discovery of new passions, like John with his gardening. For others, it may be the rediscovery of old loves that had long been put aside in favor of family or career obligations. Whatever form it takes, this independence allows you to live with an authenticity that may have been elusive before. It's about more than just the practical decisions. It's about being free to live in alignment with your values, your interests, and your needs. This kind of freedom, though often quiet and understated, is one of life's greatest gifts. It's the freedom to be fully yourself, to embrace your individuality, and to live a life that feels deeply meaningful to you. Whether it's spending your days in the garden like John, cooking meals you've always wanted to try, or simply enjoying the peace and tranquility of your own company, the joy that comes from this independence is immeasurable. It's not just about being alone, it's about reclaiming your life, your time, and your choices, and doing so with a sense of empowerment and pride. Ultimately, living alone offers the chance to step into your power, to live each day with intention, and to make choices that reflect who you are at your core. It's an opportunity to embrace the freedom and independence that can come with this stage of life, and to find joy in the beauty of your own company. The decisions you make, whether big or small, become a reflection of your truest self, and there is something incredibly liberating, deeply fulfilling, and profoundly beautiful about that. 3. Peace. As we grow older, the value of peace becomes more than just a luxury. It transforms into an essential element for our well-being. In a world filled with constant noise, demands, and distractions, finding moments of true stillness can feel like discovering a hidden treasure. For those who live alone, peace becomes not only a choice but a profound source of comfort and healing. It's about curating your environment to reflect the tranquility you desire, creating a personal sanctuary where you can retreat, recharge, and simply be. Living alone offers a rare kind of freedom, allowing you to craft your surroundings in a way that nurtures your soul. There's no one else's noise to contend with, no sudden interruptions, no outside chatter. You get to decide when to engage with the world and when to step back into the calm of your own space. This kind of solitude isn't about isolation, it's about creating an environment that allows for deep introspection and inner peace. It's a sanctuary where you can hear your thoughts, feel your emotions, and let go of the stresses that often accompany the hustle and bustle of life. Take Maria, for example. At 70, after decades of raising children and sharing her life with a partner, she now finds herself embracing the quietude of her own home. In her younger years, the house was alive with the sounds of family life, the laughter, the arguments, the constant hum of activity. While she cherished those years, Maria has discovered a new kind of joy in the silence that now surrounds her. Her mornings have become sacred, a time for pure tranquility. I wake up to the sound of birds, not an alarm clock or someone else's schedule, she says, her voice filled with a soft sense of wonder. I can sit in my favorite chair, sip my coffee, and just enjoy the stillness. For Maria, these moments are more than just a peaceful start to the day. They have become an integral part of her emotional and mental well-being. In those quiet hours, she finds the space to reflect, meditate, and connect with herself on a deeper level. The stillness allows her to gather her thoughts, to mentally and emotionally prepare for the day ahead without the pressure of anyone else's needs or demands. It's a kind of peace she never knew she needed, but now she can't imagine living without it. This quiet time is my time to breathe, she explains. I never realized how much I craved this stillness until I had it. And isn't that the truth for so many of us? After years of being caught up in the whirlwind of life, whether it's raising a family, working a demanding job, or simply trying to keep up with the world around us, the need for peace becomes almost palpable. It's in these moments of stillness that we can finally let go, releasing the tension and noise that have built up over the years. Peace becomes a way to recharge, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. They offer refuge, a place to come back to ourselves, to heal, and to find balance in a world that often feels chaotic. This sense of quiet isn't just about the absence of sound. It's about creating a space where your mind can rest, where your thoughts can flow freely without interruption. It's about finding a moment to pause, to breathe, and to listen to the whispers of your own heart. For people like Maria, this time is vital. It's a time for reflection, for meditation, and for reconnecting with the self in a way that feels nourishing and restorative. In the quiet, Maria finds clarity. She uses this time to plan her day, set her intentions, and reflect on her journey. The stillness becomes a canvas on which she can paint the rhythm of her life, one peaceful moment at a time. But the beauty of peace extends far beyond the individual moments of calm. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that honors the need for stillness, space, and solitude. It's about recognizing that this quiet isn't a void, it's a presence, a profound and powerful force that allows us to connect with our inner selves. In this space, we can process our emotions, reflect on our experiences, and nurture the parts of ourselves that often go unnoticed in the busyness of everyday life. For those who live alone, this quiet time becomes even more precious. Without the distractions of others, you have the freedom to fully embrace this peace. You can choose when to engage with the outside world and when to retreat into the sanctuary of your own home. You can decide when to invite noise and when to preserve the stillness. It's a delicate balance, but one that brings immense fulfillment and serenity. And in this peace, there is a quiet power that allows you to recharge, to grow, and to rediscover the joy of your own company. There's something deeply spiritual about the silence that comes with living alone. It's as if the absence of noise allows for a clearer connection to the things that truly matter, to nature, to your thoughts, and the present moment. Whether it's the sound of birds singing in the morning, the gentle rustle of leaves outside your window, or simply the quiet hum of your breath, these moments of stillness become a reminder of life's simple, yet profound beauty. Maria's story is a testament to the incredible peace that can come from embracing solitude. Her mornings have become a cherished ritual, a time to recharge her spirit and reflect on the day ahead. But her experience is not unique. Many who find themselves living alone after years of shared life discover that this peace is not just a pleasant surprise, they are a necessity. They become the foundation of well-being, offering the space to heal, grow, and find joy in the simplicity of life. In a world that often feels too loud, too busy, and too demanding, peace or gift that we give ourselves. They are a reminder that we are worthy of stillness, of reflection, and of moments that are purely our own. Living alone offers the opportunity to fully immerse yourself in this tranquility, to create a space where peace reigns and where you can truly recharge your mind, body, and soul. In this quiet, there is profound beauty, and in that beauty, there is healing, renewal, and a deep sense of contentment. 4. Control over your space. One of the most profound and often underestimated joys of living alone is having complete control over your space. Your home becomes more than just a place to sleep and eat. It transforms into a sanctuary, a reflection of your soul, your preferences, and your personality. Every inch of it is yours to design, decorate, and arrange in a way that makes you feel at peace. While it may sound like a small detail, this ability to shape your environment without compromise is incredibly powerful. It offers a sense of freedom and autonomy that can have a deeply healing and transformative effect on your life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Think about it. How many times in life have you had to make compromises about your living space to accommodate someone else's taste or needs? Whether it's a partner, children, or roommates, shared spaces often require a delicate balance of everyone's preferences, which can leave little room for your own. But when you live alone, you no longer have to adjust your surroundings for anyone else. Every decision, from the layout of the furniture to the colors on the walls, is entirely yours. You can create a home that feels like a true extension of yourself, a place where every item, every corner, reflects your personality and the things that bring you joy. Take Tom's story, for instance. At 68, after the passing of his beloved wife, he decided to downsize and move into a smaller, cozier apartment. For years, Tom had dreamed of living in a minimalist space, clean lines, open spaces, and filled with natural light. But when he was sharing his home with his wife, those dreams had to take a backseat to her preferences. Now, for the first time in his life, Tom was free to create the environment he had always longed for. His new apartment is simple yet elegant, filled only with the essentials and items that bring him peace and joy. I always wanted a minimalist space, but that wasn't possible when I was sharing my home, Tom reflects. Now, this space is a reflection of me, simple, clean, and full of natural light. It's my sanctuary. Tom's story is a testament to the power of having control over your environment. His home has become a true reflection of his inner desires and personality, a space that allows him to feel at ease every day. And that's the beauty of living alone. You can create a home that is designed for you, by you, without any compromises. Whether you prefer a minimalist haven like Tom, or you find comfort in filling your space with vibrant colors, artwork, and mementos from your life, your home can be exactly what you want it to be. This control over your space goes beyond aesthetics. It's about creating an environment that supports your emotional and mental well-being. When you live alone, you have the freedom to design your surroundings in a way that promotes peace, joy, and comfort. If you want your home to be a place of quiet solitude, you can create that. If you want it to be a vibrant space filled with music, art, and memories, that's entirely within your power. Every decision, big or small, is yours to make. Having control over your space also means you can shape it to meet your specific needs. If you love reading, you can create a cozy reading nook with all your favorite books within arm's reach. If you enjoy cooking, you can design your kitchen to make meal preparation a joy with every tool and ingredient easily accessible. If you're passionate about art, you can turn your walls into a gallery, filling them with pieces that inspire you. The possibilities are endless. And the best part is that you don't have to seek anyone else's approval or input. You're free to create exactly what you need to feel happy, content, and at home. This autonomy can be incredibly empowering. In many ways, it's not just about controlling your physical space. It's about reclaiming a sense of agency over your life. For much of our lives, we may have felt that our homes were not entirely our own, whether because of family responsibilities, the presence of a partner, or the need to accommodate the preferences of others. But when you live alone, your home becomes a place where you are in charge. It's a space where you can fully express yourself, where every choice you make is a reflection of who you are and what you love. The psychological benefits of having control over your environment are profound. Your home becomes a haven, a place where you can retreat from the world and recharge. When everything around you is a reflection of your tastes and preferences, it fosters a sense of comfort and belonging that is deeply fulfilling. It can reduce stress, increase feelings of happiness, and create a sense of peace that permeates your daily life. Tom's story highlights just how transformative this control can be. His minimalist space isn't just about the absence of clutter, it's a conscious choice to surround himself only with things that bring him joy. Every morning, he wakes up in a space that feels light, open, and peaceful, and that sense of calm extends into the rest of his day. His home has become more than just a place to live. It's a reflection of the person he is and the life he wants to lead. For others, like those who may thrive in a more vibrant, eclectic environment, living alone offers the freedom to experiment with colors, textures, and personal treasures that might not have fit into a shared home. The beauty of having control over your space is that there's no right or wrong. It's about what makes you feel good. It's about creating a space that nurtures your soul and makes you feel at home, both physically and emotionally. Ultimately, having control over your space when living alone is a gift, one that allows you to craft an environment that reflects your personality, meets your needs, and supports your well-being. Whether it's a minimalist sanctuary like Tom's or a space filled with art, music, and memories, your home becomes a true reflection of you. And in that reflection, you'll find peace, empowerment, and a deep sense of contentment. 5. Building a deeper relationship with yourself. Spending time alone can be one of the most transformative experiences of your life. In a world filled with noise, obligations, and the constant presence of others, solitude offers a rare and precious opportunity to truly connect with yourself on a deeper level. It's more than just being alone, it's about nurturing a relationship with the person you've spent your entire life with you. This time of solitude can be incredibly healing, giving you the space to process the events of your life, make peace with any unresolved emotions, and find clarity about who you are and what you truly want. It's a chance to listen to your inner voice, reflect on your journey, and appreciate the person you've become, flaws and all. Take Gloria's story, for example. At 74, after the passing of her husband, she found herself in a state of profound loss and confusion. For decades, she had shared her life with someone else, and suddenly, that anchor was gone. When my husband passed, I didn't know what to do with myself, she admits. The silence in her home, once filled with shared moments and conversation, felt overwhelming at first. Like so many who experience loss, Gloria felt adrift in the unfamiliar space of living alone. But over time, something began to shift. Rather than resisting the solitude, Gloria leaned into it. What she found was nothing short of life-changing. As she spent more time alone, Gloria began to develop a deeper relationship with herself, something she had never had the space or time to explore while raising a family and being a partner. I started to enjoy my own company, she shares, her eyes filled with the quiet wisdom that only comes from lived experience. She began journaling, putting pen to paper as a way to process her thoughts and emotions. For the first time in her life, she allowed herself the freedom to reflect deeply on her journey, the highs, the lows, the unresolved grief, and the moments of joy she had carried with her through the years. I began understanding my own emotions in a way I never had before. Gloria's story is a testament to the incredible healing power of solitude. In those quiet moments, she found a space to process her grief, to come to terms with her new reality, and to rediscover a sense of peace within herself. And that's the beauty of building a deeper relationship with yourself. It's not about avoiding the difficult emotions, but rather about facing them head-on with compassion and understanding. When you spend time alone, you give yourself the gift of self-awareness. You begin to see your life more clearly, to understand your patterns, and to make peace with the parts of yourself that you may have neglected or ignored. This journey inward isn't always easy. It can be incredibly emotional and challenging, but it's through this process that you develop a greater sense of emotional resilience, a strength that comes from knowing yourself on a deeper level. You learn to navigate your inner landscape with more grace, understanding that your emotions, whether joy, sadness, anger, or grief, are all part of the rich tapestry of your human experience. And in this understanding, you find peace. Solitude gives you the space to reflect on your life's experiences and the choices you've made without the distractions or judgments of others. It allows you to explore your inner world, to question your beliefs, and to realign with your true values. This time alone is not just about healing from the past, it's also about embracing the present and looking forward to the future with a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. By spending time with yourself, you begin to appreciate the person you are today, the person shaped by all the love, loss, lessons, and growth you've experienced over the years. As Gloria discovered, this deeper relationship with yourself can lead to a profound sense of inner peace. When you know yourself intimately, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your dreams, you become more comfortable in your skin. You stop seeking validation from others and start finding fulfillment within. There's a quiet confidence that comes from this kind of self-awareness, a sense of contentment that isn't dependent on external factors or relationships. It's the realization that you are enough, just as you are, and that you have the inner strength to face whatever life throws your way. For many, this deeper relationship with oneself also leads to greater emotional freedom. You no longer feel the need to hide or suppress your emotions because you've learned to sit with them, to understand them, and to let them flow naturally. Whether it's through journaling like Gloria, meditation, or simply spending quiet moments in reflection, this practice of connecting with yourself can be deeply therapeutic. It allows you to release the emotional baggage you've carried for so long and to embrace a more authentic version of yourself. The beauty of this journey inward is that it never truly ends. As you continue to spend time alone, you'll find that your relationship with yourself deepens and evolves. You'll discover new layers of your personality, uncover hidden passions, and gain insights into the choices you've made and the path ahead. This kind of self-exploration is a lifelong process, one that brings with it endless opportunities for growth, healing, and self-compassion. In the end, building a deeper relationship with yourself is one of the most rewarding experiences life has to offer. It's about taking the time to honor your journey, listen to your inner voice, and find peace within your own company. It's about realizing that no matter what has happened in your life, you are whole, complete, and worthy of love, especially your own. And through this process, you'll come to understand that solitude is not something to be feared, but rather embraced, as it holds the key to unlocking a greater sense of self-awareness, emotional resilience, and lasting inner peace. So, whether you're like Gloria, navigating life after loss, or simply seeking a deeper connection with yourself, remember that the time you spend alone is not wasted. It's a sacred opportunity to heal, reflect, and grow. It's a chance to build a relationship with yourself that is grounded in love, compassion, and understanding, a relationship that will serve as the foundation for your well-being for the rest of your life. 6. Strengthening connections with others. Ironically, living alone often provides the perfect opportunity to strengthen your relationships with others in ways you may not have anticipated. While solitude offers the space for self-reflection and personal growth, it also allows you to reframe how you interact with the people in your life. When you're not constantly surrounded by others, you have the time and space to truly miss and appreciate the relationships you choose to maintain. As a result, your social interactions become more intentional, more meaningful, and driven by genuine desire rather than mere obligation. In a world where social interactions can sometimes feel obligatory, living alone allows you to reconnect with people on your terms, deepening the bonds that truly matter. Take Joe's story as a perfect example. At 72, after the passing of his wife, Joe made the difficult decision to move to a new city, hoping for a fresh start. With no immediate family nearby and living on his own for the first time in years, Joe faced the daunting prospect of rebuilding his social life from the ground up. It would have been easy for him to fall into isolation, but instead, something unexpected happened. Living alone allowed Joe to reflect on the relationships that had shaped his life and allowed him to reach out to those who truly mattered. I realized that just because I'm alone doesn't mean I have to be lonely, he shares. Those words resonate with so many who, like Joe, discover that living alone can open doors to richer, more fulfilling connections. Without the constant background noise of daily life with a partner or family, Joe found himself reaching out to old friends, reconnecting with people he hadn't spoken to in years. With no distractions pulling him in different directions, he could focus entirely on nurturing these relationships. In many cases, these friendships became deeper than they ever had been before. Joe wasn't calling out of routine, he was calling because he genuinely missed and valued those connections. And that's where the magic happens, when you choose to engage with people because you want to, not because you feel obligated. Living alone also pushed Joe to expand his social circle, making new friends in his community. He began hosting small dinner gatherings, inviting neighbors and acquaintances to share meals and conversations in the warmth of his home. He joined local clubs and activities, not just to pass the time, but because he had a real desire to connect with others on a meaningful level. The relationships I've built are deeper and more meaningful than ever before, he explains, his voice filled with gratitude for the unexpected richness that came from living alone. Joe's story is a reminder that solitude doesn't have to mean isolation sometimes. It's the key to building the kinds of connections that truly enrich our lives. There's something incredibly freeing about this shift in perspective. When you live alone, you have the luxury of choosing your social interactions based on your true desires. You no longer feel obligated to attend gatherings or maintain relationships out of habit or necessity. Instead, you engage with others because you genuinely want to, and this makes all the difference. The people you surround yourself with become those who bring joy, comfort, and positivity into your life. Living alone gives you the time and emotional energy to invest in these relationships fully, resulting in more meaningful and authentic connections. For many, like Joe, this experience becomes a powerful reminder of the importance of quality over quantity when it comes to social interactions. When you're no longer caught up in the routine of daily social obligations, you begin to recognize the relationships that truly matter. You stop wasting time on shallow or draining interactions and instead focus on those that bring you happiness and fulfillment. This creates space for deeper, more rewarding connections, whether with old friends or new ones that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine care. Moreover, living alone can also enhance your ability to be present in your interactions with others. Without the constant distractions that come with shared living spaces, You can be fully engaged when you're with the people you care about. Conversations become more meaningful as you're able to listen and contribute with a clearer mind and a more open heart. This presence can lead to stronger emotional bonds and a deeper understanding of those around you, making your relationships more fulfilling on every level. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Living alone also offers a chance to reflect on the kinds of relationships you want to cultivate moving forward. Perhaps you've had friendships in the past that felt more like obligations, or perhaps you've maintained connections that no longer serve your emotional well-being. Solitude allows you to reassess these relationships, letting go of those that drain you and making room for those that uplift you. It's about choosing the people who align with your values, who support you, and who inspire you to be your best self. Joe's story highlights the importance of social interactions that come from a place of genuine desire. When you live alone, the connections you maintain enrich your life, not because you have to, but because you want to. Whether it's reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, or simply engaging in more intentional conversations, living alone can deepen your relationships in ways that you may not have anticipated. This newfound sense of autonomy over your social life can be empowering. It reminds you that your relationships are a choice, not an obligation. You get to decide who you spend your time with, how often you see them, and how you engage with them. And when those choices are made from a place of genuine care and desire, the connections you build become even more meaningful. In the end, living alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. It often allows you to form stronger, more fulfilling relationships. By choosing to engage with others out of genuine interest rather than obligation, you create a social life that is built on authenticity, mutual respect, and a shared sense of connection. And as Joe discovered, these connections can bring an incredible amount of joy, meaning, and fulfillment to your life, proof that sometimes solitude is the key to building deeper, through relationships with the people who matter most. 7. The joy of solitude. There's a profound and often unexpected joy that comes from embracing solitude, especially in your later years. It's a joy that comes not from isolation, but from the richness of your own company, a time where being alone doesn't equate to loneliness, but rather to a sense of contentment and inner peace. In a world where we're constantly surrounded by people, responsibilities, and expectations, solitude offers a sanctuary. It's a space where you can slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect with the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. For many, the idea of living alone later in life can initially feel daunting, perhaps even a bit heavy. But those who fully embrace solitude often discover that it's a time filled with beauty, reflection, and self-discovery. It's a time when you're no longer pulled in every direction by the needs of others, allowing you to focus on your desires, thoughts, and feelings. The hustle and bustle of shared life, the noise, the compromises, the constant activity fades away, replaced by a quiet that is both calming and empowering. Consider the story of Lily, a 71-year-old woman who found herself living alone for the first time after her husband passed away. In the beginning, the solitude felt overwhelming. After years of companionship, the silence in her home seemed deafening, and the absence of her husband left her feeling lost. But with time, something beautiful began to happen. Rather than resisting the solitude, Lily began to lean into it, discovering joy in her own company that she had never experienced before. I started taking long walks in the park, something I never had time for before, Lily shares with a soft smile. She found that these walks became a time of reflection and peace, a quiet space where she could reconnect with herself and with nature. I'd bring a book, sit by the lake, and just enjoy being alone. In these simple moments, she found a sense of fulfillment that had once seemed out of reach. The solitude, which had once felt like a burden, became a gift. It was a time for Lily to rediscover herself, to reflect on her journey, and to find joy in the small, quiet moments that she had never fully appreciated before. Lily's story is a powerful reminder that solitude isn't something to be feared, it's something to be embraced. In our culture, we often equate being alone with loneliness, but the two are not the same. Loneliness is the absence of connection, but solitude is the presence of self. It's a time when you can cultivate a deeper relationship with yourself, finding peace in your thoughts and contentment in your own company. Solitude gives you the freedom to explore your interests, to reflect on your life, and to enjoy the world at a pace that suits you, without the pressures of keeping up with anyone else. For many, solitude offers a rare opportunity to slow down and savor life in a way that simply isn't possible when we're surrounded by others. It's in these moments of quiet that you can truly listen to your inner voice, a voice that is often drowned out by the noise of everyday life. Whether it's sitting quietly with a book, taking long walks through nature, or simply enjoying a cup of tea in the morning light, solitude allows you to reconnect with the simple pleasures of life, the ones that bring true, lasting joy. There's something incredibly liberating about this shift. When you embrace solitude, you no longer feel the need to constantly fill your time with activity or social engagements. You begin to appreciate the beauty of doing nothing, of simply being present with yourself and the world around you. This sense of stillness can be deeply healing, offering you the chance to recharge both mentally and emotionally. It's a time for reflection, for self-care, and for reconnecting with your inner peace. Lily found that her time alone allowed her to process the grief of losing her husband in a way that felt natural and gentle. The quiet moments by the lake, the walks in the park, and the time spent journaling or reading gave her the space to heal, reflect, and come to terms with her new reality. And in that space, she found a sense of peace that had once seemed elusive. It's funny, she says, I used to dread the idea of being alone, but now I find it's when I feel the most connected to myself, to nature, to life. For so many like Lily, solitude becomes a time of self-discovery and growth. It's an opportunity to rediscover passions that may have been forgotten, to explore new hobbies, or simply to rest in the quiet joy of your own company. It's a time to appreciate the journey you've been on, to celebrate the person you've become, and to look forward to the future with a sense of contentment and peace. This joy of solitude also brings with it a kind of emotional freedom. You no longer feel the pressure to please others or to live up to anyone else's expectations. You're free to live life on your terms, to follow your rhythm, and to enjoy the things that bring you happiness. Whether it's spending the entire day reading a book, taking up a new hobby, or simply enjoying the beauty of a quiet morning, solitude allows you to live in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. Ultimately, the joy of solitude lies in the freedom it offers, the freedom to be fully yourself, to explore your inner world, and to find peace in your own company. It's a time to connect with the deeper parts of yourself, to listen to your thoughts and emotions without distraction, and to cultivate a sense of inner fulfillment that comes from within. Solitude is not a void. It's a space filled with possibility, reflection, and the quiet joy of simply being. Lily's experience serves as a reminder that solitude, far from being something to avoid, is a gift to be cherished. It offers you the chance to live life at your own pace, to find joy in the quiet moments, and to reconnect with the person you've always been but perhaps lost sight of in the busyness of life. Embracing solitude allows you to build a deeper relationship with yourself, to find peace in the stillness, and to experience the quiet joy of living life on your terms. 8. Personal growth and reflection. Living alone offers a unique and profound opportunity for personal growth, a chance to truly focus on yourself in ways that may not have been possible before. Without the distractions of others' needs, schedules, and opinions, you're given the space to reflect deeply on your life, explore your desires, and set new goals that align with who you are today. This time of reflection is not only liberating but also incredibly enriching, offering fresh insights into who you are, what you want out of life, and where you want to go next. It's a period where you can embrace the freedom to evolve, grow, and pursue passions you may have set aside for too long. Consider the story of Frank, a 70-year-old man who found himself living alone after the passing of his wife. For decades, Frank had carried within him the desire to write, but like so many of us, life got in the way. Responsibilities, family, and work had always taken precedence, and his dream of writing was left on the back burner. But now, with the quiet of his home as his constant companion, Frank found that he finally had the time, the space, and the emotional clarity to pursue that long-held passion. I always wanted to write, Frank shares with a sense of both nostalgia and excitement, but life got in the way. Now that I'm alone, I have the time and space to finally pursue it. For Frank, writing became more than just a creative outlet. It became a way to process his thoughts, his grief, and the experiences that had shaped him over the years. In the solitude of his own company, he found not only a newfound purpose, but also a deeper understanding of himself. Frank's story is a powerful testament to the personal growth that can arise when you embrace the quiet and permit yourself to explore the parts of yourself that have long been neglected. Living alone creates the ideal environment for this kind of personal growth. Without the constant pull of others' expectations or the need to compromise, you can fully focus on your development. Whether it's taking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply spending time reflecting on your journey, solitude offers a space for self-discovery that is both nurturing and expansive. It allows you to look inward and ask yourself the important questions. Who am I now? What do I truly want out of life? What passions or dreams have I left unexplored? This time of reflection is deeply enriching because it allows you to reconnect with the essence of who you are. It's a chance to reevaluate your priorities, redefine your goals, and rediscover the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. When you're living with others, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, always putting others' needs ahead of your own. But living alone gives you the freedom to focus on yourself, to invest in your growth, to nurture your talents, and to pursue the dreams you may have set aside. For many like Frank, this time of personal growth can lead to the pursuit of long-forgotten passions. Whether it's writing, painting, gardening, or something entirely different, living alone allows you to dive deep to these pursuits without distraction. You can spend as much time as you like honing your craft, exploring new ideas, or simply enjoying the process of creating something that is entirely your own. The joy of this kind of growth is not necessarily in the result, but in the journey itself, the journey of rediscovering a part of yourself that had been waiting patiently for its time to shine. Personal growth in solitude isn't just about learning new skills or pursuing hobbies, though. It's also about the emotional and spiritual growth that comes from spending time alone with your thoughts. Solitude provides the perfect space for reflection on your past, your choices, your relationships, and your future. It's a time to process old wounds, to heal from past experiences, and to make peace with the person you've become. In this quiet time, you may find that you gain new perspectives on your life, understanding the lessons hidden within your struggles and appreciating the strength you've gained along the way. This kind of deep reflection can lead to a profound sense of self-awareness. When you're alone, you're free to explore your thoughts and emotions without judgment or interference. You can sit with your feelings, observe your patterns, and begin to understand yourself in ways that might not have been possible when you were constantly surrounded by others. This heightened self-awareness fosters personal growth because it gives you the clarity to make better decisions, to set healthier boundaries, and to pursue goals that are in alignment with your true self. For some, like Frank, this personal growth may lead to the pursuit of creative endeavors or the realization of long-held dreams. For others, it may manifest as emotional growth, a deeper connection to your inner self, and a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. No matter how it takes shape, the growth that comes from living alone is often profound and life-changing. One of the most beautiful aspects of this time of personal growth is that it happens at your own pace. There's no rush, no pressure to meet anyone else's expectations. You can take your time, enjoying the process of self-discovery and allowing yourself to grow in ways that feel natural and authentic to you. This kind of growth is deeply personal, and it's something that can't be rushed. It's about listening to your inner voice, following your intuition, and trusting that you are exactly where you need to be. In the end, living alone can be a time of significant personal growth and reflection. It offers you the space to pursue passions you've long set aside, to reflect on your life's journey, and to set new goals for the future. Whether you're like Frank, rediscovering a long-held dream, or simply taking the time to reflect on your experiences, this period of solitude can be incredibly enriching. It's a chance to connect with yourself on a deeper level, cultivate new skills and passions, and grow into the fullest version of who you are meant to be. Embrace the quiet, embrace the stillness, and embrace the opportunity for personal growth that living alone provides. In that space, you'll find not only yourself, but a new sense of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. 9. Embracing simplicity. There's a quiet, almost magical beauty that comes from embracing simplicity, especially when living alone. Without the complexities of accommodating others, life begins to feel more straightforward and more intentional. You can focus on what truly matters to you, letting go of unnecessary stress and complications that may have weighed you down for years. It's a chance to simplify, strip away the excess, and create a life centered around the things that genuinely bring you joy and fulfillment. Consider Helen's story, a 69-year-old retiree who decided to downsize to a small, cozy apartment after her children moved out. Like so many of us, Helen had accumulated a lifetime's worth of possessions. Her home was filled with memories, mementos, and things she once thought she needed, but that now felt more like a burden than a blessing. I realized I didn't need all the stuff I'd accumulated over the years, she reflects. With her children grown and gone, she found herself standing amid a house that felt far too big, filled with items that no longer served a purpose. The decision to downsize wasn't just about finding a smaller space, it was about reclaiming her life. Living alone gave me the chance to simplify my life, Helen explains, her voice filled with quiet satisfaction. She embraced the opportunity to declutter, to let go of the material possessions that had once filled her home but no longer brought her joy. In doing so, she discovered a newfound sense of freedom. Her life, once filled with things, was now filled with meaning. Now I focus on what truly matters: my health, my hobbies, and my relationships. Helen's story is a powerful reminder of the profound impact that simplifying your life can have, especially when living alone, when you no longer have to worry about accommodating others, whether it's family, partners, or roommates. You have the freedom to create a space and a lifestyle that reflects your true values. You begin to realize that so many of the things we hold on to in life, the possessions, the commitments, the expectations, are often unnecessary sources of stress. Living alone gives you the perfect opportunity to let go of these burdens and to focus on what genuinely brings you joy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. For many, like Helen, this process begins with the physical act of decluttering. Downsizing or simplifying your home can be an incredibly liberating experience. It's not just about getting rid of stuff, it's about creating space for the things that matter most. Whether it's simplifying your wardrobe, letting go of old furniture, or clearing out the clutter that's accumulated over the years. The act of decluttering is symbolic of a larger shift. It's about choosing to live more mindfully, to surround yourself only with the things that bring you happiness, and to let go of anything that no longer serves you. But the simplicity that comes from living alone isn't just about material possessions. It extends to every aspect of your life: your routines, your relationships, your priorities. Without the demands and expectations of others, you have the freedom to structure your days in a way that feels natural and fulfilling. You can focus on your health, your well-being, and the activities that truly light you up. There's no pressure to keep up with anyone else's schedule or to meet anyone else's expectations. Instead, you can design a life that feels authentically yours. In simplifying her life, Helen found that she could devote more time to her hobbies, activities she had once put on the back burner in favor of family obligations. Whether it's painting, gardening, reading, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of tea in the morning, living alone gives you the space to explore the things that bring you peace and happiness. There's something incredibly rewarding about focusing on these simple pleasures, knowing that your time is entirely your own. Beyond hobbies, simplifying your life also allows you to nurture the relationships that matter most. Without the distractions of unnecessary commitments or the need to maintain a large household, you can invest more time and energy into the people who bring true value to your life. Helen, for example, found that with fewer material distractions, she could focus on building deeper, more meaningful connections with her loved ones. My relationships have become stronger, she shares, because I'm no longer overwhelmed by the busyness of life. I have the time and the mental space to truly connect. Living alone allows you to embrace a slower, more intentional pace of life. Without the constant demands of others, you can focus on what makes you feel fulfilled, rather than constantly trying to keep up with the pace of those around you. This simplicity fosters a sense of calm, a sense of peace that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your values. You're no longer weighed down by unnecessary stress or complications, and instead, you can devote your energy to the things that genuinely matter: your health, your passions, and your connections with others. There's something incredibly powerful about this shift. When you simplify your life, you create space for the things that truly bring you joy. You learn to let go of the things that no longer serve you, whether it's material possessions, stressful commitments, or even relationships that no longer align with your values. In doing so, you create a life that feels lighter, freer, and more fulfilling. For many, like Helen, this simplicity leads to a deeper sense of contentment. It's not about having more, it's about appreciating what you already have and finding joy in the things that truly matter. Whether it's the freedom to focus on your health, the time to pursue hobbies that bring you happiness, or the ability to nurture meaningful relationships, living a simpler life allows you to focus on the things that bring lasting fulfillment. In the end, embracing simplicity when living alone is a powerful way to cultivate a life filled with purpose and joy. It's about letting go of the unnecessary and focusing on what truly matters. By simplifying your home, your routines, and your priorities, you create space for the things that bring you peace and happiness. Like Helen, you'll discover that living alone isn't just about being by yourself, it's about living a life that is truly yours, filled with the things that bring you the most joy and fulfillment. As we come to the end of this journey through the joys, growth, and transformative experiences of living alone, we hope you've gained some valuable insights along the way. Whether it's rediscovering yourself, embracing simplicity, or finding peace in solitude, there are so many opportunities for personal growth and fulfillment when you create space for reflection and self-discovery. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from these stories? And which aspect of living alone resonates with you the most? Comment below with one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content like this. Thank you for watching.